Now starting with the next problem on cylinder, only two problems are asked till now in previous 16 question papers. So for two-stage problem, you should give more importance to prism over cylinder, but still cylinder can be asked. We'll start with this problem. A cylinder with 50 mm diameter of its base and axis measuring 70 mm has its axis inclined 30 degree to the VP. Draw the projections of the cylinder when the solid is resting on one of the points of the circumference of the base on the VP. In the previous problem, the base, one of the points of the circumference was resting on HP. So we started with the base below reference line, that is the circle drawing below XY line. But here, that one of the circumference, point on the circumference is on the VP. So I should assume that the entire base is lying on the VP first. So the base, which is circle, will be visible in the front view instead of top view. So we need to draw that circle above XY line. So we'll start with the base of the cylinder above XY line. And we need more space below XY compared to above XY. So after marking XY line, reference line, we need to draw the circle of 50 mm diameter. So we'll take the radius as 25. And we should leave some space above XY. And that circle should be made dark. The next step is to divide the circle into 8 number of parts. We will divide into only into 8 parts because circle is smaller. First, we will draw the horizontal diameter, and with the help of this horizontal diameter, we will divide the circle into 8 parts. So we need to produce the angles each of 45 degree. So 135, then 90 and 45. So this will divide the circle into 8 parts. Then after dividing the circle into 8 parts, we need to give the notations. Now, need for dividing the circle is to mark imaginary generators so that I can get more points for drawing the ellipse. So again, here top and bottom base will coincide. So at each point I should give 2 notations. So in front you notation will be with dash, A dash, 1 dash A dash, then 2 dash B dash, 3 dash C dash, 4 dash D dash, 5 dash E dash, 6 dash F dash, G dash, and 8 dash H dash. And here it will be axis O dash O dash. Now we need to draw the axis of 70 mm. So the total height of cylinder is 70 mm. So first we will project the axis vertically downwards, that is top view, and starting with the XY line, we will measure axis length 70 mm. Okay. Now I will draw a parallel line to XY at a distance of 70 mm so that I will project the vertical lines from front view up to this line only. So now we will project vertical lines from each point. So first I will mark the boundary of the cylinder by projecting these end points. So the boundary will be dark, so I am making it dark. Then again this imaginary projector from 6 and 4 will be a light line. Then from the center OO, it is axis, so long dash short dash. Then again from 2 dash and 8 dash the projectile will coincide as a single line, and it will be again an imaginary generator, so light line. And finally from 1 dash A dash I'll get the boundary of the cylinder, which will be dark. So in addition to this, I need to make both the bases dark. Now I'll give the notations. Obviously we are assuming the bottom base as 1 to 8. So here I'll get 1 and corresponding will be 8. Similarly 2, 8, then 3, 7, and also O will coincide here, again 4, 6 and 5, and the top base will be A to H. So after A I'll go for B and H, then C, G and O will coincide here, then D and F, and finally E. Now in the next stage, axis is inclined at 30 degree to the VP. So again, for redrawing the top view, we need to consider this condition by making this line, which is axis, inclined at 30 degree. But while making the axis inclined at 30 degree, we need to also maintain the first condition, the other condition, which is one of the point of the circumference should lie on the VP. The point we have considered is fifth, that is 5, notation 5. So I need to keep this 5 on the BP, that means on the XY line only. And by keeping this 5 on the XY line, I need to make this axis inclined at 30 degree to the BP. Again, if I want to start from 5, I can't draw the axis, but I can draw the base. And I know the relation between axis and base, those are perpendicular to each other. So obviously if axis makes an angle 30 degree, the base will make angle 90 minus 30, that is 60. So from 5 I will start with drawing the inclination out for base as 60 degree. So I will rotate the base by 60 degree, that obviously the axis will be rotated at 30 degree. So first I will mark the angle of 60 degree. Now the question is, where should I mark that 60 degree angle? On this side or this side? The rectangle, this entire rectangle will be treated like this. So this base will make an angle 60 degree on this side. So I should select this angle to mark this base. So I'll mark this base at 60 degree angle. So obviously the axis will make 30 degree. So first I have to mark this entire base up to 1. So I'll get 5 to 1 here. At the same time I can mark the other divisions on that base, which are 4 and 6. Then the center line 3, 7, 4. Add one more division, which is 2 and 8. Now from this base I can draw these two boundaries which are perpendicular to the base. Also 4, 6, 2, 8 and 3, 7 are also perpendicular. So I'll first mark one perpendicular line from 5, and then I'll draw the parallel lines to that perpendicular to mark the other lines. So first drawing the perpendicular at 5, and from that perpendicular I need to take distance equal to 70 mm. So I'll directly measure the 70 mm here. Because the height of the cylinder is 70, this much is 70 mm. So obviously I'll draw the other base parallel to this base at a distance of 70 mm, which is already marked here. I'll just draw the perpendiculars by drawing parallel line to perpendicular from 5. So I'll get this imaginary generator, then the center line, which is the axis, then again imaginary generator, and then boundary of the rectangle, which should be dark. So I'll make again the bases dark, and then one more boundary dark. Now since the base is making angle 60, obviously the axis will make an angle 30. So I'll now give the notations. So after 5, 4, 6, 3, 7, 4, 2, 8, and then 1. Similarly for top base, E, D, F, C, G, O, B, H, and E. And the axis should be shown by long dash, short dash. Now to complete the final view, I should project from top view and then from front view. Obviously, I'll get bases as ellipse in the final view. That's why we have marked so many divisions on the circle, so that we can join the points to get ellipse. So those are all imaginary generators. So we'll project from each corner. And the last. Similarly, we need to project from front view parallel to XY line. Here these two projectors will coincide from 2, 4. Then for 1 and 5, center line. Then from 8 and 6, again those two projectors will coincide. And then lastly for 7. Okay. Now we'll mark the corresponding points. First we'll start with the bottom base. We'll mark all points 1 to 8. Starting with 1, which is here. Then 2 will be on this line. So 2 here. Obviously with dash for front view. And then 8 will be here. Don't make mistake while marking the points. And 3 and 7. So 3 dash and 7 dash will be here. Then 4 and 6 again 4 dash and 6 dash, and finally 5 dash will be here. So this completes the bottom base. Now we'll move to the top base. A will be here, then B and C, B and H. So B is here and H is here. Then C and G, C is here, H is, G is here. Then D and F, D, F, and finally E will be here. Obviously, I need to join all those points in sequence to get ellipse by smooth curve, not by straight lines. So for that, I need to check the visibility. Observer direction is this for final front view. So if I mark the visible area, so the portion below these lines are visible to the observer. That means the entire top base, which is A to G, is visible. So I can make this ellipse as dark. So I'll just join by light lines initially. You can use French curve, but if your freehand is good, then you can join freehand. Now after joining, you can make it dark. because this base is entirely visible to the observer. Now the bottom base, which is 1 to 8, is not visible because it is behind this line. So out of this entire base, this portion, that is from 7, 8, 1, 2 and 3, is lying on the boundary, so it will be dark. So first I will join by light line to get the shape of ellipse. Now after this, I will join the boundary with the dark curve, and obviously the remaining portion will be dotted line because it is not visible to the observer. Now forget about those imaginary generators, no need to join, only I need to join the boundary of the cylinder, which is the tangent point of those two ellipses. So we'll just join the tangent points, which are 7G for top and 3 and C at the bottom. Again, the remaining part is marking the axis. So O will be here, O dash, and for this base it is O dash here. It will be shown by long dash, short dash. And obviously don't forget to show the dimensions. So first we need to show the diameter of the base. Okay, so it is given as 50 mm. So I can show diameter as 50 mm, and then axis is 70 mm. I can show it here. And we need to show the inclination of the axis. We started with drawing 60 degree for base, then obviously we will get 30 degree for axis. We can verify it here. If I produce this axis and if I measure that angle, it should give me 30 degree. Yeah, some error is there, but that is acceptable. So it is almost 30 degree. So I can show that angle, but here the rotation will be phi and not theta, because true inclination with the HP is denoted by theta, but here inclination is with the VP and notation for that is phi, which can be written as 30 degree. Okay, so this completes the solution for this cylinder.